Welcome back. This Thursday, April 28th, marks the National Day of Mourning, which pays tribute to those who have died and lost their lives on the job. Patrick Davey joining us today from WorkSafe BC, and we are discussing today, Patrick, the fact that this problem is not going away. I said at the beginning of the show that 122 people died on the job across Canada this year. That's wrong. 122 people died on the job in BC alone this past year. So welcome to the show, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about this. Why is the Day of Mourning significant to what you guys do at WorkSafe BC?
Because it is significant because it gives us a chance to honor those workers that have died on the job, and pay our respects to the family survivors, employers and workers at ceremonies across BC. And like you said, in 2015, there was 122 accepted fatal claims. Now that's down from 175.
So we have to celebrate the fact that it's moving in the right direction.
It's moving down. Now when you look at the statistics for the 122, that means there's actually, to do the math, it's 2.3 fatals every week for last year.
That's not good.
And also we had one right here in camp, or we had two in this area.
Can we talk a little bit about the fact, okay, two in this area, but what are the main causes of these deaths? Or do we see certain industries that are more likely to see this happen?
You know, it's probably what you think, the high-risk industries, the constructions, the forestry and that. But when we look at it also, out of the 122, 50 of them were from traumatic deaths, like you're thinking. But 72 of them were from disease. And over the last 20 years, we've seen the traumatic injuries going down, but over the last 30 years, we've seen the fatalities related to disease go up.
What kind of
hugely.
diseases are we talking about?
Mostly these are related to asbestos. And now when we look at it, these exposures to asbestos may have happened decades ago. And they've stopped using asbestos in building materials probably the late 90s. Late 80s into the 90s, pardon me, but these things have a habit of showing up. For us at WorkSafe BC, we take this very seriously. In fact, we have a designated asbestos team, 8 people right now on it, soon to be 15, and we're looking at asbestos at exposure. A lot of times it's in the demolition of buildings.
Traumatic deaths on the job, can we talk about that? Is that falls from high levels, from ladders? What other kinds of things?
All of the above. When you look at, for last year, you look at construction alone, 24. Most of the fatalities for construction, again, is from falls from heights.
Yes. When did the National Day of Mourning all begin? When did it start being recognized?
Now that started in 1984. That was the first time it was recognized. Since then, it's recognized in every province in Canada, and also it's recognized throughout the world. It's got significance. It's got meaning.
And locally, where can people go to take part in anything that's going on? I think it's in the evening on Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah. When we look at these ceremonies, the board sponsors these ceremonies, and this year the board is sponsoring over 25 throughout BC. For us in Kamloops, you're right, it's on Thursday evening at St. Andrews on the Square at 6 o'clock. And it's important to note that it's not just for workers and employers, it's for the public. This is a chance to hear heartfelt stories. And actually, one of the young workers that's going to be speaking for us is a Mark Johnson, who's actually traumatically injured, like badly, in an incident in a mill, and he's going to be able to tell his story and what he went through. Now, there are 25 other ceremonies, and if you want to find out more about where they are, what time, you can go to www.dayofmourning.bc.ca, and it will fill you in on that.
Okay, I think we're running out of time. We probably have 30 more seconds. I know that there's other things that you wanted to speak about.
Yep.
Is there anything else that you'd just like to pass along, any other little tidbit?
Absolutely. I think when we talk about health and safety in the workplace, I hear people that say, well, it's WorkSafe's responsibility. I hear people say it's the employer's responsibility. Really, to make it work, it's a shared responsibility. Employers, supervisors, workers, unions, a lot of different people coming together and understanding and moving our culture forward.
Thank you for being here today, Patrick Davey. Always appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Again, National Day of Mourning taking place locally. There is a service being held, a get-together of sorts at 6 o'clock, St. Andrews on the Square this Thursday evening. You can also go to WorksafeBC.com for more information. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.